I'm just trying to eat a sandwich. Can I just eat a sandwich in peace? I'm just trying to eat a sandwich. I don't need any gruff. I don't need any problems. I don't need anyone chatting in the chat. I'm just gonna watch this collab I participated in, and I might not say much. I might not say anything at all. I've made a delicious turkey sandwich. It's probably gonna take me just a few seconds to eat the sandwich, to be honest. I'm just going to eat my sandwich, and I'm going to watch this amazing video. And you know what? If you want to chat, let's make it show up on the screen. Give me just a second. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, yeah, double click. Let me just double click here. Okay, let me just double click. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the SPARTA REMIX collaboration. I participated in this. There was no rules. I have not watched this yet. This is my first impression. Let's see. Let's see. I hope there's lots of funny references I don't get. I hope I'm totally out of touch. And I'm just gonna quietly eat my sandwich. And away we go.
Well, this collab is quite strange. You may wonder, but this collab has much more purpose than that. SPARTA remixers have been fighting for this.
And now it's time for it to come out. The best SPARTA remixers have been working tirelessly. And now it's time. But first, a commercial breaks from none other than
Liam Neeson.
It's a great video. Already one of the best YouTubers ever.
no one.
Huge gust of wind came out of nowhere.
Fuck this shit.
Here are the 100 things you...
This is really well done garbage.
Мы сможем больше. Мегафон.
Мегафон. Он.
Okay.
Oh, pizza.
Ouais, on fait du camping avec Kélian.
This is great.
Oh my god.
Oh, I recognize that Vegas video.
The letter cheese. Toasted bun with sesame seeds.
It cut off right as it was getting really good. Ooh.
Black people. White people.
Fuck!
Excuse me!
But you're not me. You don't know what I have to go through. You don't understand.
Shut the fuck up!
The internet never changes.
Dodson here!
Sick media info.
Imagine, if you will, a golden trumpet.
I really hope you enjoyed it. Question of the day.
What is?
The Monday. Seriously, I don't know what the
A man walked into a Walmart store.
I don't know what he was trying to get, but he was looking for something.
It came to mind that he wanted to kill someone, and that's just what he did. The man was finally caught, and this is his mugshot. Ultimately, he served only 1 day in prison.
Wow. That was a crazy video. I gotta leave a comment. Okay, and then I've been wanting to watch the big tutorial. Let's check it out. This one's been coming up on my feed.
You all know me. My name is Cross.
I'm just gonna watch the whole thing.
I've been a SPARTA remixer since 2014, and today I want to show you how to make one of yourself. A lot of the tutorials out there are pretty dated or improper, so I hope today I get to show you how to make one in the modern age. For this tutorial, I'll be using my main versions of choice, which are Vegas
I'm not gonna be saying much, so this is me just literally just stealing content.
Pro 22 and
I'm just sitting here stealing
FL
content.
Studio 25. You can follow along with other versions. The software mainly used by the community are Vegas Pro 14 and some slightly older versions of FL due to limited computer hardware and reasons which I will not get into in this video. I have legal copies of Vegas and FL Studio, FYI. Let's not waste any more time and get started.
This is started.
To get started, you need to have a SPARTA base selected. You can find plenty of these online on YouTube or SoundCloud. The best way to find a base you like is to see what other remixers have used and search up that base name by just replacing the remix in the title with base. For my demonstration right now, I'm going to be sticking to the OG extended base that most of you are probably familiar with. Next, you need to configure your Vegas settings properly. Starting with options at the top, hover over to quantize the frames and make sure enable.
Here's the good stuff. You know what? I better start taking notes.
Quantize the frames is unchecked. Make sure these three snapping settings are on, with snap to all events being optional. However, in my experience, this can make my chorus start to sound uneven if I copy my chorus samples in the wrong areas, so I choose to have it off. Throughout the series, I advise you to follow what's preferable to you instead of copying exactly what I do. That's, for me, the best way to learn. Change your grid spacing to 16 notes and set your ruler format to measures and beats. Under Preferences, go to the Editing tab and change the quick fade length for audio events integer to 2. This will give your clips and core samples a shorter crossfade so the audio isn't as softened, because your remix core samples are pretty short compared to the typical clip length that Vegas is commonly used with. You can also tinker around with your preview settings, like the amount of RAM you allow Vegas to use. It's advised to not go above 65 to 70% so the other software can utilize your computer's RAM when making a big project. GPU acceleration is also highly advised if you have a good graphics card. I also recommend for less powerful computers and especially laptops that you enable legacy GPU rendering, as the way Vegas does it by default can be less stable than using the setting. Under project properties, go to ruler and change the beats per minute according to your SPARTA base, and change the note that gets one setting to half. Most bases use a standard tempo 140, however not all bases will use it. Next, we're gonna get our source to use for our remix. This can be whatever you want as long as you know the source has good samples or something workable for you. Now, the video and audio codecs you're gonna be given will run pretty slow in Vegas, so we're gonna use Handbrake to convert the source into an H.264 video with AAC audio. It's okay if you have no idea what those mean, you can just follow along with Handbrake or your preferred video converter. Go ahead and import your source and we'll make a new preset so you can use it repeatedly. Click Save New Preset and go to Audio. You can select the language of your choice if you prefer to use different languages, but I'd advise making them separate presets. I'll go ahead and give you time to pause the video and copy my exact settings. What took you so long? Also, make sure the subtitles tab has nothing on it. You won't be needing them at all unless you're remixing for the deaf. Set your maximum resolution to whatever you need. I like my sources in 4K, but for low-end computers, I'd advise for 1080p or 720p. Under the Video tab, set your video encoder to H.264 and frame rate to same as source. You can adjust the quality here with the slider, the left being more compressed, but the right having better quality, with the disadvantage of being slower to render. Once you're all configured and ready to go, you can start encoding and patiently wait for it to finish. In the meantime, I'm gonna take a piss. Hello class, welcome to Chorus Sampling 101.
Wow, this video
Picking a
is
good
well
quote
made.
for your SPARTA remix is actually pretty simple, but a lot of people miss it because of laziness or just bad choices. Quotes sound best if the character is loud, expressive, has a medium to high pitch, feels punchy, or all of the above. The SpongeBob quote we picked is a good example. Each syllable has a quick bump that gives it its punch, plus he's expressive, loud, and his voice is high. A bad example would be the quotes you often see in SPARTA Remix custom sources. They usually use robotic text-to-speech voices with little to no expressiveness, low pitch, and zero punch.
This is SPARTA.
If your quote doesn't have any punch, you can use Jario's infamous plucking method. So just split the sample 20/80 and then drag the longer part over the short part to crossfade it in Vegas. After that, make the short clip louder or the long clip quieter. Now that you know how chorus samples work, let's move on.
That was crazy.
Okay, let's get to the fun part now and actually start making the chorus for our remix. Go ahead and import your source into Vegas and start searching for your quote, or use one you already had in mind. This SpongeBob one is pretty good, so let's clip that using the yes shortcut. Now, there's one big problem we need to tackle with this quote, specifically, and you might run into this often if you're working without 5.1 audio. The background music is pretty noticeable and it's going to ruin our chorus, so we need to use a vocal remover to isolate the quote. You can use any vocal remover that works well, like vocalremover.org, lala.ai, or the app UR5, but for this tutorial, I'm going to use uvronline.app. It's really restricted if you don't pay for it, so I'd only suggest it if you're looking for quality and have the money. After you process your quote, drag it into Vegas, align the audio and video clips together, then select both at the same time by holding Ctrl and clicking. Group them with the shortcut G, and now your quote is ready to be remixed. You can hold Shift and select both the video and audio tracks, then drag them upward if that feels more convenient to you. Another way is to right-click the video track and select the option to create a new one. Then
This is a great stream. I'm just sitting here silently watching a YouTube video. This is great. I feel like a real streamer.
do the same for the audio track. After that, drag or copy the quote to the beginning of the bass, and then we'll start making the patterns for it. Start by slicing your quote by each syllable.
I should just insert my own commentary every once in a while, like that's crazy. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Or wherever you can hear that pop or punch. These are the chorus samples you'll be using throughout your remix. This will only work with some of the later versions of Vegas. Version 14 isn't guaranteed at all. If you hold Shift and navigate to Options, you'll see a new option appear called Internal. Click on it, search up Time Stretch, and copy these settings. That way, when you're stretching new quotes or anything else in the future, if you hold Shift and navigate to Options, you'll see a new option appear called Internal. Click on it, search up Time Stretch, and copy these settings. That way, when you're stretching new quotes or anything else in the future, it'll automatically be set to soloist speech.
Well, what? Vegas Video has such crazy settings.
Now, it's hard to explain exactly how to make your own patterns. That's something that's really up to you and your creativity. But the general rule for the intro is that it should be introducing the quote, meaning the quote you pick should be heard clearly and recognizably before going into the standard chorus patterns and sentence mixing. Meaning the quote you pick should be heard clearly and recognizably before going into the standard chorus patterns and sentence.
You guys don't want to watch me just sit here silently watching a YouTube video? Come on.
Mixing. Here's an example. You can also check how other remixers do it. Some follow this rule, others don't as much. Go ahead and pick the first sample you want to use here so we can make the standard 1-2 remix pattern you're probably familiar with. Remember, make sure the clip starts with that punch pop thing you learned about. Each clip should fill the space between these two grid lines like this. For this part, you're allowed to copy what I do. It should sound like this. Then get your second sample and make it sound like this.
Wow,
Congratulations, you just made your first chorus pattern. Now, on to the rest. Here in the build-up, the chorus is usually a repetition of the quote from the intro with sentence mixing. Sentence mixing is a technique where you take bits of your chorus samples and rearrange them to create a new sound, rhythm, or pattern. It's basically making the source articulate new things by splicing what was already said, if that makes sense. For example, here's the first pattern I'm going to use for the build-up. And right next to it is the sentence mix version. For the rest of the build-up here, I'm just gonna have fun with it now. You have to practice, but having a good sense of rhythm will definitely give you a good head start. If something doesn't sound right, just replace it or do something else. Don't overthink it, it just needs to flow with the bass. Also listen to other remixers for inspiration, see what they do for the chorus, and try it yourself. The beauty of all this is that nobody really has an identifiable chorus style, because there aren't qualities that can be easily discerned from person to person. What I'm saying is you could have a fully made SPARTA remix with the chorus done by another person or group, and I wouldn't be able to tell as long as it flows right. Now we can try 30-second
Wow.
notes for the chorus after this build-up. Not to be confused with the grid spacing setting in Vegas. It just means you're cutting/placing your chorus samples on a 30-second note grid, where each step is half of a 16th. The term itself can be kinda outdated with how things are set up now, but I don't want to confuse you with that.
This all seems so confusing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Vegas. It just means you're cutting/placing your... Now we can try 30-second notes for the chorus after this build-up. Not to be confused with the grid spacing setting in Vegas. It just means you're cutting/placing your chorus samples on a 30-second note grid, where each step is half of a 16th.
Right,
The term
right,
itself can be
right.
kinda outdated with how things are set up now, but I don't want to confuse you with that. All you need to do for 30-second notes is take your original chorus sample clip, cut it in half like this, and then repeat the same pattern, replacing the original clip with double the ones you just split in half. It should sound like this. The epicness bass pattern is the last one you'll be learning for the basic elements of the chorus. After the epicness, the remix starts to repeat itself with these elements. Try copying the bass pattern here. Whether or not you can do it by ear, whatever works for you. And hey, you don't have to stick to this bass pattern. While it's fine if you do, you can always spice it up with sentence mixing. Do your own thing, be creative, and have fun. Here's what I did. Okay, looking back, it's not the best example for it, but I hope you get what I mean. This quote is starting to get pretty boring, isn't it? Let's switch it up a little bit and add a freestyle with another quote. A freestyle deviates from the original chorus pattern to add a more refreshing touch to our chorus instead of being the same old thing all the time. We can put it on top of the pre-existing chorus to keep things interesting, and it's pretty satisfying when they complement each other. Let's use this quote I found and make our own freestyle pattern from it.
Okay, everybody, we've got a lot to do now that we've summoned Santa Claus. We must ready ourselves for his arrival.
Here's what I did. Now, the madness is a very simple concept. Two characters say the same or similar quote, phrase, word, whatever, and they're almost battling each other in a rhythmic way. Here are our two quotes we're going to use for this.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus!
And here's how the madness is traditionally arranged.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus. Santa.
Note that you can still do sentence mixing and freestyling here, and it's highly encouraged. Again, make it your way. Another thing you can do is match the dialogue to the bass's rhythm. It's another way to sentence mix, you're just aligning the sentence to the bass. Here's an example.
Today I'm gonna sneak up and get that Andy with a super sneaky karate move. I apologize, you can maybe now.
I'll just set up my chorus again and add a little pattern here in the outro, and then we'll be pretty much done with the audio. Optionally, you can also fill in your chorus to remove the black bars and flip your visuals here with Automat Helper. Note that this is not an Automat tutorial, you can find my tutorial on it down below. All you want to do here is select Tracks Legato under Tools, choose Lengthening Clips to fill in the blank gaps in our video, then select all our tracks in Vegas, go back to the same area under Tools. This time, go to Apply Visual
This literally seems like more work than it took me to make the original.
Effects, and select Horizontal Flipping. And congratulations, you are now done with your SPARTA Remix chorus. All you have to do now is click the S button on each audio track to solo it out and render the audio stems one by one in the format of your choice. Then we're going to import them to FL Studio. Go ahead and import the three, and under each audio file, click the track button so it automatically sets your audio to a mixer track. We're going to add some EQ, a compressor, and reverb, which are pretty basic effects for making chorus. For my first EQ, I'm just going to help bring up the highs a bit and duck down the high mids. Then I'm going to use a compressor and squish it down real good and then adjust the mix knob so I get a nice mixture of my compressed chorus and the original dynamics. Compression can really help your chorus pop more and sound more balanced. Then my second EQ will just act as a mixing EQ if I still don't like how it sounds. Lastly, I'll have my reverb here set pretty small with a high early reflection level, just cause to me it sounds nice. Tinker around with it how you like it. Quick tip! You can right click the mixer track, go to File, click and hold Save Mixer Track As, and then drag it to the other mixer you set up to copy all the settings. And now you're done! After watching this tutorial, you should have completely mastered the basics of chorus making. In my next tutorial, I'm going to show you the basics of percussion making and the rules of sound design for it. See you then.
Shit.
Bye.
Sorry for cussing, but damn, that's like kind of a lot to take in. You know, that's a lot of lessons, and that's a lot of learning. And it's time to make our very own SPARTA REMIX custom bass. Oh no, I've corrupted the file. How'd that happen? This has never happened before. What's happening? My computer's breaking. I guess I gotta go to SPARTARemixPlanet.com and re-download it. Don't look at my stuff. Stop trying to look at my stuff. Alright. So, jump in here to my SPARTARemix.com. I have this event I need to go to, so probably can work on this for 60 seconds. If you're watching this stream after it already happened, just realize that you could have been in the chat room chatting with me. Look at all the cool interactions we are having in the chat room on the video. Alright, I'm gonna open up FL. I'm gonna open up my SPARTA. Extended. Uh-oh. Hello? Yeah, I'm live streaming right now, live to the internet. Alright. Alright, just call me. Bye. Alright.
This is madness!
I think what I'm gonna do is just take my... This is what I do every morning. Every morning I wake up. I sit down at the computer, pull up my seat, I check my emails, of course. I check my IMs, my DMs, my PMs, and my mails. And then I open up FL Studio, extended SPARTA REMIX bass. Every morning around like 6:45 a.m. And I just start clicking. So, first thing I like to do is take my notes and click them into a brand new VST. This is a VST that no one's ever seen before. And it's called... Where is it? Phonek 2. This is a brand new one. And I like to make brand new sounds that no one's ever heard. like that. You never heard all that before. Throw a little flanger on it. And I think that this time we're gonna go low tempo. Like 10, 15 BPM. Yeah, that's sounding pretty good. And now, to make it automatically into a song, I'm going to open up Splice. We all have Splice. We all love Splice. I'll have you all know that I'll be featuring the Sparta remix not in Fortnite but in Diablo 5. When deep into Diablo 5, when you're talking to the blacksmith in Masmeroth, he will give you a booklet of spells, and if you combine the booklet of spells with your long staff at the alchemy station, if you combine the booklet spell with the long staff, it'll for a few seconds play Sparta remix. Blizzard hit me up. At first I wasn't so sure, but then I decided, this could be funny, so I don't have the rights. Unfortunately, I mistakenly signed over the rights to the song permanently to them forever, so they own the song now, but I think it's worth it. Okay, so what you want to do is see when you get your breakcore beats in. Now it's just automatically a song. I'm kind of done. Vocal clip of someone saying, like, hey. So I'll go to my one shots. I don't know about a who. Yeah, probably something like that. That sounds great. Sounds so cool. Fire! Definitely a radio hit. Okay, now we might as well throw in some of that classic Sparta. That sounds great. I'm just gonna toss that in without even modifying it. I'll turn it down though. And then that, let's just throw a gross beat on that. Why try harder? You think Daft Punk doesn't use gross beat? Look up the controversy. What did they do when they were making the Tron soundtrack? They fucking got caught using gross beat. Man, this sounds terrible, but you know what? You gotta trust the process. And now we're gonna invent new chords. We're gonna invent new Spartos, new remixes. Let me change this to, well, let me just double it up and do like a, y'all ever use this thing? This, I don't even want to set it up. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna do like a, let me just do like a more normal, use my flex. Okay, we're gonna invent new, brand new Sparta chords. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. That's fun. You're right, there's not enough Dan Rather in this. How can we get more Dan Rather in here? You're not wrong. Where's that damn Dan Rather blooper? Alright. You're right. When you're right, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Okay, I don't need to cut it actually in Premiere. I'll just use my foobar.
Bye.
Yep.
And I'll convert it to a WAV file. And then put it over in my thing. Over here in my samples. And then I'll pop it up here.
The five receiving news. Good evening, this is the Good evening.
Bye.
Yep. Good evening, this is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather report. Dan Rather reporting.
All right. So we have our Dan Rather reporting sample. That was a good idea that we would want to have Dan Rather in here. And I'm going to just, I don't know if this is how you all would do it, but I'm going to export it into its own clip. And then I'm going to take my Sparto clip. I'm going to clone it. I'm going to rename it to my Dan Rather. I'm going to copy this Sparto pattern. I'm going to replace this sample
This is Sparta!
with my Dan Rather. even though I'd rather not.
Dan. 40.
Now let's see how that works.
40.
Oh, I'm gonna take off the gross beat. No gross beat. Let's just do a whatever.
40.
Okay, and then I guess I'm gonna do this.
Dan,
That sounds great. To be honest, that sounds great. This is sick. I'm gonna take the original drum loop, and what are you gonna throw on there? The gross beat. So something's happening. Crass and M, you missed it. I stole your whole shit. We watched your whole video while I sat here silently. Okay. And then back to this. How do I... Where's my... Okay. No, I don't mean the collab. I mean I then went and watched your whole tutorial video while I sat here silently. Hey, that's what streamers are supposed to do, I think. Yeah, it was a good video. Thanks for teaching me how to make a Sparta remix. Okay, I'm not really liking where the rather is landing, and you know what? I don't want to try and figure it out, so I'm going to clone the sample, and I'm going to just manually adjust it. That's better. Thank you for teaching me, the creator of Sparta Remix, how to make a Sparta remix. That's sounding pretty good. And now is the time that we put effects on the classic. I'm just gonna do a little sequencing here. Nice and bouncy. And then I'm gonna lengthen the drum loop. Turn it up. Done. Put it on TikTok. Why try harder? Give me my boy Dan Rather. Honestly, I think we're on to something. This is madness. Madness. This is da 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 rat 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 dan dan rat rat. Okay, now we need a scream sound effect. Now I know there's plenty of cool, fun samples all over YouTube, but I just don't have time to rip it and find the ripping software and find the websites and find the YouTubes. That's perfect. Why try harder? That's my whole motto. Why try harder? This is a classic plus tech squeeze box move. Okay, slice all this here to mute it. Oh yeah. That's some classic PSB from Tokyo. Right? Let me bring the tempo up a little bit. I'm live streaming on the internet. No. What are you getting? Okay, I gotta go. Text me. Bye. Okay, and then this is where everything changes. You thought you knew where the song was going. Well, this is where everything gets completely turned on its head. You thought you knew where this thing was going? This is where it goes completely out of control. I'm gonna open up Nexus. I have lots of presets in Nexus. And things like that. Things like that. Cool. Yeah, drop your favorite emojis in the chat. That's hard. Not soft. Let's see how that sounds. I think this is where I switch to a brand new drum loop. We don't have time for people to ease into the song. You gotta just keep them. It's gotta, every measure has to be brand new sounds and brand new drums and brand new riffs. We're in a new age of music where everything just has to be changing every 1 second. Sick. I don't know about this drum loop. Try. Toss on that OTT. I don't really know what it does, but sometimes it just blasts. Gosh, hell yeah. And probably it'd be good to just throw that thing on everything. I mean, why not? Oh, is my mic really quiet? I mean, I have it on the booster box, and I have it on my interface, and I've paid all this money to, and I have it fucking cranked up on here using this filter all the way up to 30 dB. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. Is my mic quiet or not quiet? Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna okay, I'm gonna take off these OTTs. That was a funny joke. I'll add those at the end, maybe, or later, or something. For right now, I gotta get serious. Let's listen to what we've got. I've been putting in all this work. You know, sometimes things aren't going to sound so good while you're in the middle of making them. You know, it's all an iterative process. It's all a challenge. I don't know about that one. Perfect. A full Turismo. A Gran Turismo. Let him cook. I'm getting sick of that Dan Rather sample. I'm getting rather sick of it. So let's go in here, clone the thing, make the thing, and we gotta get a new sample in here. What about a sample I've heard used before? That's that guy going, "This is Sparta." The gross beat is making it weird, but maybe I can gross beat it up like this. Let's make this synth part, you know, it was funny at first, a lot of laughs. Let's make it a little more not crappy. And then I'll take those chords, and on another one, maybe I'll do my classic, my old standby, Vanguard. See what that sounds like. Maybe do a gate. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna bust out that ARP. Okay, so whoops, I'm gonna clone it again. And this time I'm just gonna I'm not gonna pick one of these ARPs, but I'm just gonna pick like a lead, right? Turn off the delay and the reverb as always. Copy my notes. And then I'm going to do my own arpeggio using the thingy in here. The thing here. And maybe I'll have this gate be like automated. So it's like low to high, you know, like. I feel like the track is missing volume in the high end. I think you're being ironic. Don't troll me! Okay, I'm gonna turn this, crap. I'm gonna turn my new crazy synth stuff. I'm just gonna put like a classic fast LP cutoff resonance. And then for the other one, I'm gonna do the same thing. Classic fast LP. No, this time I'll do parametric EQ2, pick this thing and do this thing. And that's just the build-up, baby. You know it's about to drop. I think here the arpeggio stops. I'll clone it. Grab the notes, put the thing, and I'm going to turn off the ARP here. And then, what are these sounding like? At this point, I guess the fast LP and the parametric EQ is done. So I'll just extend them. Sorry, I'm not reading the chat. I'm in the zone, bro. And I'll, you know, to make you guys happy, I'll drop it down an octave. That was quiet. I'm just gonna delete that, and then I'm just gonna... What's this one sound like? So quiet. And then I'm just going to grab a different Nexus thing, and then make it super loud. Super loud. And just make it a bass thing. And then just... The only song to ever have this chord progression. And I feel like it should be like... That should be where this break beat thing is like. And the rest of it is just sort of like building up to it. So how do we do that? We do like, I don't know, search build up. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like a techno song. Drop your favorite emojis in the chat. something there. This is Sparta Remix 1.5. Sparta Remix 1.5. Sorry, I had to go sweep the kitchen. Okay, that sounded pretty fun. You know, it doesn't hit as hard as if I sat here for hours trying to make it sound like really good and clean, but in terms of just like throwing on a bunch of filters and stuff, it actually sounds pretty decent. I don't know where to go from here. I mean, what if it's like one of these things? I also feel like this thing could be duplicated and have a thing where it has like effects on it, because right now the one I have on here is like kind of quiet. So no problems there. Perfect. Sounds great. And then I'll do like a whatever EQ-y thingy with this thing. And then there should be, you know, if we didn't have enough sounds already, we need a fill. A classic fill. Yeah, like that. This is how you make techno music in 2025. You don't make your own stuff. You just go onto a little app and you say, "Can you give me a drum fill?" And then you just pop it in there. And now I have to find a way to make this louder than everything else. Just I don't know if that's working. There we go. Perfect. And then, while we're at peak loudness, this is where we get into the real fun stuff. Basically, we're gonna take our crazy things, such as this, that sounds so good, and we're just gonna do a classic up and down, baby. The old up and down. Nothing wrong with that. And then I'm gonna duplicate this. And I'm sorry I'm not reading the chat. It looks like it's really lighting up in there. And I'm going to make this a new sound. A brand new sound that no one's ever heard before. Like, I don't know, like this? Maybe not that. That's kind of a new sound. That's pretty sick. What I really want is like something that makes it like really funky, but I don't know. I don't have time to like think about it or figure it out right now. So where's my manipulator? This thing can make things sound pretty weird. I prefer how it just sounds as normal. Alright. It's so quiet. It's like what I really need to do is just bring down the volume of everything. Let's just bring down the volume of everything to a whisper. Now we have infinite room to do anything we need to do. That's pretty sick, actually. You know what? If I was in the club and they had a big drop, and then the drop was the volume goes way down, I would think that was pretty cool. Let's lean into that. let's lean into that. Okay, I'm gonna clone this little plucky noise again. And I'm gonna just make it a little louder. And then I'm gonna do like a reverb. Or just, I don't know, just something about it sounds empty and lame. And then bring up the volume a little more with the blood overdrive. And then it gets all crazy, right? If I was at the club, I'd be frickin' tripping out. Okay, so this stuff all needs to be like a little bit louder. I can't do an ASMR voice. I don't even know what that means. You mean like this? If I talk like this, I don't know how you're even gonna hear me. This microphone and this interface is questionable. That's why I've now purchased the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. I give up on this audio interface. This PreSonus Studio 24C is too unpredictable. I don't know what it's doing. I'm going to take what I have here and I'm going to divide it into other instruments because these will come after. And I'm just going to put in flex, pick all, roll the dice a little bit. I guess this whole time I could have just done this so you guys could see the whole screen. I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. It's not really hitting, is it? Let's play it from the beginning, see where we're at. It's not working. It really, right here, should just jump into some classic. You know, like, after this weird drop, the, like, tease drop, it's gotta just go into what you know and love. This. The classic drum loop that you know and love. First, it's going to do that. Then it's going to go into the classic that we all know and love. And It's gonna go into the classic. I mean, there's where it should just, you know, go into the classic. Why did I think I'd be able to... Alright, fuck it, I'll do it manually. Little backwards version. Yep, just type every note in. This is obviously gonna need a reverse symbol. Classic reverse symbol action. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I did want to go to this event. How can I go to this event while I'm Sparta remixing? Maybe it needs to be like... Maybe it does... Maybe it just needs to be like... It needs to be a brand new... I can't even articulate what I'm saying. It needs to match the Has anyone ever done this? It makes so much sense. Huh? Seems like we should have been doing that all along. Wait, wait, oh, yeah. Dan Rather reporting. Right. Right? Have we ever done that? Why do I... The song should have been like that the whole time. Why have I never done that before? Alright, I'm gonna take my break beat, I'm gonna put it in a new mixer track. And in fact, I'm going to split it in half, stretch it out, double the length, toss a gross beat on there, why not? You can't really hear the vocals, the Dan Rather clips. I can't hear anything on this part. Nothing you're supposed to be hearing is audible here. So let's go into one of these and pump up the jam. Oh, I like that one isolated little drum. Where even is that? Why is that happening? What is this madness? Am I losing my mind? Oh, I see. This is not working. This is the Sparta disappointment bass. Sparta disappointment style remix.
It up while your feet are stumping and the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd are jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor.
In the beginning there was Jack.
I'm gonna get a virus on this site.
And from this groove came the grooves of all grooves. And while one day viciously throwing down,
I'm gonna get a virus on this site.
Pump the party going on the dance floor. See, cause that's where the party's at, and you find out.
What do you want me to do? Just download it. All right, now we're pumping up the jam. Keep that pumping, pumping. Keep that pumping, jumping. And now we will sit here quietly while I beat match it. Oh, you can't. Okay, forget that. I guess I'll do kick. What is going on?
Pump up the jam, pump it.
And now we will sit here quietly while I beat match.
Pump up the jam. Pump up the jam.
I don't know how to do this without changing the tempo. That's fine. I can change the tempo.
Pump up the pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. Pump it up while your feet are stumping and the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd are jumping. Pump.
Okay. Pump
up the jam. Pump it up.
Nope, forget it. I'm not doing it. It's too hard. I saw that it was 125 BPM, but I just... You know what? To be honest, I feel like they fall off beat on that song, even in the real song, so it's just like... Bye! Have a good Friday night. I'll just be sitting here. How do I get the TS404 thing in new FL? Well, if you just open up in new FL, if you just open up this, well, I'm using 2024, so it might be different. But if you open up the SPARTA Remix extended project from, you know, SPARTARemixPlanet.com, Callaway 8's login, it'll just work. It just has this message that says you can't change the settings. So let's clone this and throw a little effect on it, maybe a phaser, maybe a little phaser, and then pump up the jam. And then soften it up with something like a flanger. And then soften it up with a little, you know, soften it up with a little fast LP. That sounds sick. I think this stuff all needs to continue. Or at least the Dan Rather stuff has to continue. How are we gonna make the remix if you can't even hear Dan? Maybe I'll do it like... And then we'll duplicate it so I can put an effect on it. Like classic parametric EQ2, this thing. Let's go the other way. This one. And then the second half also needs the old Dan Rather treatment. Put that on number 28. And then what if I put the little classic? What if I take my what if I take that and do something crazy, like have it continue, but it's like all fricked up? What if I make it all fricked up? Like I do a what would I do? Like a, you know, like how would I do like a No, I was thinking more like And then I'll make it quieter, of course. Hey, no one said it was gonna sound good. This is a prank remix. This feels quiet. Lele's in the building. Yeah, like, let's just make it so it just jumps into the fun stuff. We don't need the prank drop. The prank drop's been fun. I'll go back to it if this doesn't work. Let's just jump in the fun. Hey, where'd the sound go? Where'd all the sound go? I broke it. Uh-oh. Wait, I genuinely don't understand what I did. What did I do?
Manuel Urrutia.
Where's my sound? Oh.
The child is, your kid is experiencing some grief. There's this thing they made that they liked looking at and it's no longer in the world.
I unplugged my speakers. We're back. I fixed it. It was a me problem. Little me problem. We are so back. Can't wait to try out this new audio interface. Okay, we're back.
This is madness! Madness.
Whoops. All right, there's something there. I think that once it gets here, it's got to sound pretty different. This is where it gets wild style. Alright, I think we've had enough fun with the Dan Rather reporting. We need a new sample. This is what comes up on Google when you search funny clip. We've got to remix the classic funny clip. Hey there, Edgy Jelly. Thanks for joining the stream. I would sample Pump Up the Jam, but I don't want to give more royalties to Technotronic. Technotronic. Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, name it, trauma it, jam it. Okay, funny clip. Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, smash it, change it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it. Cut it, paste it, load it, send it, fax it, send it, fax it, rename it. We're remixing funny clip. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into our Dan Rather. And clone it. And go to our pattern. Clone it. Funny clip. And then however the cards may land, let's just toss that funny clip. You gotta SPARTA remix it. Perfect. Three 3.141592653589793238462. I think this needs to be a little quiet. Oh yeah, everyone loves funny clip. We know it, we love it, we gotta have it. It's one thing to have Dan Rather reporting, it's another to have funny clip. And then where's like a pitch? I don't know. I've never even used this. I've literally never opened this plugin before. Throw on a little flangish. Throw on a little chorus. Throw on a little basic EQ. Bass it up. And then squeeze a little bit of Dan Rather in here just for fun. That sounds sick. Yeah, funny clip Sparta remix. And then we're gonna do the thing where we take the thing and we take off the crow's feet. And then it's just like a normal... It's kind of just like a normal thing, but then maybe I'll just add this glitch thing. This to the drums. Yo! Maybe it's like this will happen for 2 seconds, and then we go into the weird part. This is the part where it gets a little bit weird. Whoops. I'm gonna put a new mixer track, and I'm gonna copy the old mixer track. This is my favorite feature in the whole program. Whoop. And then I'm gonna actually add a normal delay. Set it to 2. And then we're gonna have like 1 note per thing. So it'll be like sick. Maybe I'll even grab my fill from over here. And then, what else do we have? I could use some of that. I'll just turn it so it's like one little... Excuse me. And then we're going to grab our Dan Rather clip. Of course. We all knew it was coming. Stretch it out and just let it play out. And then for the next measure, I'm going to copy all this stuff, but the distortion thing that's delaying, we're going to do that a little differently. So we're going to go in, duplicate our distortion, grab our notes, do a new mixer track and copy the old mixer track to it. And then instead of 2 steps, let's try 4 steps. Now I'm going to take off the phaser. And then for this part, let's make it so Dan Rather's talking a little faster so we can sort of understand him.
Good evening, this is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Written with perfectly seamless control, the 5-mile-wide channel separating the 2 main Orphan Islands. Good evening, this is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Written with perfectly seamless control, the 5-mile-wide channel separating the 2 main Orphan Islands.
And then obviously it's going to jump back into funny clip. He's getting good. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay, now we do a bold thing where we're going to do a lead instrument. We're going to do a brand new SPARTA melody. So I'm just going to grab Nexus. I'm going to just jump in here and find a random Damn Rather. How loud can we make this thing? Pump up the jam. Perfect. Perfect. I like that idea. Make a melody out of Dan Rather. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Hard to tell if it's working right. It's a Halloween style melody. Perfect. It's perfect. It's a classic melody. God, I lost all my viewers. And then I feel like here we can go back to some of this, like, and now we can free ourselves into something a little more tame. Let's grab a new drum loop. That's a weird one. I'll pick the one that specifically seems like it doesn't fit. Okay. Throw this in there. Man, so many people were chatting and I wasn't reading of it. I feel bad. What kind of fun stuff were people saying? Sounds like I'm rubbing my hands on glass. Ow. If Keaton ever makes actual albums, I'd buy them. That's a nice comment. Keaton requests, make Exploding People has a remix. I really need to learn FL. I've always wanted to make a bass. Just lots of good chatting in the chat. Everybody's chatting. Okay. Wow, this really is Sparta. Wow, this really is Sparta after all. Boy, this really is Sparta. And maybe I'll do my fill. I feel like for the very last measure, I need to turn off the delay so it doesn't leak into the next thing. So that means I'm going to go in here. Who's got the delay? You've got the delay. So I'm going to clone it. And then put it in here. Make it exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to copy the preset from 34. Put it onto 38 and just take off the delay. I guess the arpeggio is already going on here. So I'm actually going to go in here and turn off the arpeggio for this part. Or I'll make it like this. And then this is probably the last thing I'm going to do, and then this will be the end. So what if I took this and turned off the ARP? And then what if I opened up my sampler and made all of the notes up here so I have a guide for ghosted notes? And then I'll just, you know, ARP it myself. So bring back our Dan Rather, but quieter, maybe with some effect. And then go back to our ARPy thingy. Whoops, I erased this one. No biggie. Yeah, right. Sure. Okay. Uh-huh. Wow. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it. Let's listen to what we got. shit. Okay, I have to give my wrap-up speech again. My mic was muted. Thank you for letting me know. What I said was, hi to English Spartan, pumpkin themed, and that is the end of the live stream. Thank you for watching. If you would like to have this song as an MP3, go ahead on over to yt1d.com and rip the live stream yourself to make an MP3 that you can put onto your iPod and listen to in the back of your mom's minivan. This was the creation of the SPARTA REMIX Forever, version 7, and I thank you all for watching the stream and for your love and support. And keep on rocking it. Peace out.